Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you another game with 24th US National Guard. I know. Uh, I have played the division quite a bit. I don't really know why, because every time I play it, it feels a bit painful. But for whatever reason, I want to make it work. And we're black. We're back on Blue Forest, aka Black Forest. I know map variety kind of sucks, but there's just nothing I can do about it. The maps you get in ranked are random, aka it's 90% Blue Forest and Mount River. So it is what it is. And we're once again on this side of the map, as I am like 90% of the time. Going against 7th Panzer. So haven't seen this division in quite a long time. Mostly it's me who's playing it, but now it's actually enemy using it. So had to come up with a plan for this matchup. You can see deploying some snipers as usual. Going into the tower here. 7th doesn't get any forward deploy except for their recon, their what are they doing? The Spezialaufklärer, yeah. They are pretty good, but obviously you don't want to use them as combat squads as always with the GSR squads, but this is a big advantage for him because I don't have any GSR squads, and because recon at the moment is absolutely retarded and doesn't see anything. GSR squads or exceptional recon squads, so GSR and then also the West German BGS. They are the only recon squads that are at least somewhat effective. They can see something. So this will be pretty painful for me. But I have the better IFEs, pretty much. Though the infantry that comes in the IFE for him is better on the other hand, so it's a bit give and take. And then again, he also doesn't get any meta squads, but he gets a lot of ATGMs otherwise with the BRDM Concourse that he can take, and well, obviously just his normal IFVs. And he gets armored helicopters. Depending on how he builds his deck, you can get quite a few. In 7th, not as like bad as 4th, but still a lot. And pretty painful air, like painful for me. So I started with a fighter because, as you might remember, I came up with this little strategy of doing a double helicopter start, which that works like decent if your enemy doesn't expect it. And even if you don't do a double helicopter start, you can always still start with like one armored helicopter and do quite a bit of damage. So I decided to go for a fighter in the opener, also some AA. You can see also again a fairly light deployment in the sawmill because I mean the sawmill is still just left alone a lot of times, especially now as he's playing an armored division against a more infantry focused division. I was assuming that he's not going to go in there. So just an engineer dragon and the National Guard fireteam law, one scout on the right flank just for some flank watch, and then you can see a fairly heavy deployment in the middle with the chaparral, an ITO jeep, 50 cal, stingers, engineer dragons, another ITO going into like the ITO is going here, engineer dragon going into the city fight. Then normal engineer, military police, and fireteam 84 all going into the little town here as well. Because I was expecting some big pushes around this area, because that's mostly where armored divisions go, right? That's also where the ITO jeep is going. A sniper also on the left-hand flank. And yeah, the stingers are left and right. Yes, so one stinger here, and then the chaparral for the center, so that I have some light AA cover. I mean, I don't have any more like better AA anyway, so that's the best it's gonna get range-wise. I obviously always can get just more AA, but this should be enough for the opener, especially with the fighter as well. Of course, I'm sound scouting in the beginning because, I mean, there's no other way. Yeah, at least if you want to win. It's just stupid not to do it. I know it's like not the best gameplay mechanic, but on the other hand, in my opinion, it is kind of fair because there is literally no other way to tell what your enemy is doing in the opener, and if there's a heli rush, like you need to know it before the helicopters arrive, otherwise you're just dead in the first 2 minutes. And I heard one helicopter, so like I heard a helicopter, but it was one or like several, I wasn't sure. I didn't immediately rush into the helicopter with my fighter because 7th gets pretty decent mechanized AA. Like the coupe is like meh, but has pretty good range, and then the Strelottenham is just a decent AA piece, but turns out it was just an Mi2. Phantom, of course, as always, doesn't dive into it, but gets the AIM-9J off and it actually hits with 45% accuracy. MiG-23 coming in. I called in an Eagle, because I thought there would be more air, but then it appeared to only be one MiG-23. But well, I mean, I already called them in, so I thought I might as well go in. Nothing was shooting at the Phantom, so I kind of just thought like, fuck it, let's go in. Eagle only hitting one missile, bruh. Sparrow is fair enough, but the M9M, like, come on, man. Phantom finishing it off with its guns because all its missiles also missed. Because why wouldn't they? In general, decent opening engagement, even though my missiles had a horrible accuracy. I mean, I was able to get the MiG-23 in the end, so can't complain too much. And both my fighters survived. That's also very important. I see some infantry going into the town, so originally I was feeling quite well about my deployment because I thought that, you know, I called his rush correctly. Also saw some infantry moving in here, though not sure about which infantry it is. Also I want to say, because some people say that, oh, you know, recon isn't that bad. Like, there's an infantry squad in here. I have a sniper here. A reconnaissance squad specifically designed to see enemies. And I can't see him. Fun. But I didn't call it correctly, and he did a pretty big armored assault into this sector, and I only have an engineer's dragon here. The Bradley is now also here, but I mean the National Guard in it only have a law and are reservists, so yeah, that's looking very, very bad for me. Engineer Dragon maybe gets a shot in. It does, but unfortunately the T-72 turned front armor just in time. Should have really just put an ITO in here against an armored division. That would have been a good idea, but yeah, well, you live and you learn. Stun down the leader T-72, get a hit with the ITO. But well, I mean, ITO and Dragon 1 won't do that much against the T-72 because like the one big advantage of the T-72 is its decent armor. But because I saw a big advance coming in here, I assumed that there can't be that much left in here, so I just push forward and try to dislodge him, and you can see it's working pretty well. Though here it's not working pretty well. It's actually going quite badly. Let's see if the fully stunned up Bradley can hit the BMP, and it can. Like, I'm surprised that my fully stunned down Bradley can hit the BMP here, but in a game before, a not stunned Bradley missed a Martyr 2 times at the same range. Yeah, now my infantry is being completely overrun, because I mean he has two T-72s, two BMPs, and a bunch of infantry there. Also the Shilkas are actually a decent shout in this case, because they can also then get some fire support against the infantry. I hope that I could be able to neutralize the sector quickly. Also called in a strike eagle, because I only saw the Shilkas, and I mean the Shilkas are a decent call for supporting the infantry and against the helicopters. A very good idea, but they obviously all pretty much useless against the strike eagle. Though he calls in a new fighter, and so I just instantly retreat my strike eagle. I called in another F-15C because I wanted to kill off his fighters as quickly as I can to like make space for my strike eagles, make their life easier, and kill it off. So he takes them at standard veterancy, so if he has one card of them, he still has one left. And yeah, this town here has now completely been cleaned out. Brings in a scout helicopter, so I wanted to kill it off quickly with my eagle. But unfortunately he dies below its sight line just in time. Also nothing going on the left-hand flank for the moment. I'm buying in some National Guards so I can start a two-pronged assault into the town. Because I also gambled that there can't be that much in here. But the problem is also that I don't want to move over the open, because then like one single attack helicopter that he can call in fairly quickly will just delete me. And the chaparral is still pretty far back. That's not that well done by me. Should have pushed it up already a long time ago. He pulls up his recon helicopter again, so I kill it off just to, get rid of it as long as I can. Something shooting at my eagle, but only doing minor damage. I guess those are Shilkas again. And yeah, I managed to retreat the command out of the sector again. But you can see that obviously it did manage to neutralize it because his T-72 command tank was still alive. So yeah, that was a bad idea. Bringing in 2 infantry squads just to watch the road here in case he tries to push through and do some backline action. BMP-1 dies to, I think, National Guard Bradleys, though not sure. SPW dying. And yet there's the armored helicopter, the Hind. So it was a good job by me to not instantly move over the open. Went quite deep with the Phantom, but I wasn't feeling that well with just one Phantom against the MiG-23 after flying over 2 Shilkas. You can see being stressed out quite a bit. And yeah, moving forward, I can finally spot this Spezialaufklärer. And even being in the forest line here, the Mi-24 can already do a lot of damage. Chaparral being moved up, but I didn't want to move it up too far because I was afraid of ATGMs in those buildings here. And I mean, yeah, because recon is completely useless. Just because I have a sniper here doesn't mean that I know what's going on in the town, right? Because I mean, why would I? It's not like it's a unit type specifically made to see something. So I need more Stingers. I'm pretty sure they are already on the way, yeah, but they're all still a long way out. And the Bradleys here are already getting shot at by something. So moving them back. This is a Hind D, so this is the one with the bad ATGMs. You can see only 40% accuracy is pretty abysmal. But it still has the anti-infantry rockets and the gun. So it is still very, very dangerous against infantry. And because it's armored, you can take also quite a lot of damage with it. Now I see ATGMs arriving and some infantry moving over the open. Yeah, a snipe of the little jeep, but Conquerors was already able to get into the town. So I'm quickly retreating my Bradley to get behind the buildings here. Conquerors firing at it. I was sure that the Bradley would be able to get into cover in time, but the sideline here is actually pretty long, so the Bradley dies. Put a strike eagle on the building, but the attack ground commands with LGBs are broken, and you can see it missed by like half a kilometer and also a kilometer, and got shot down in the process by a coup. 40% ECM, by the way, you know. Nice. Yeah, so this was horrible. And I don't understand why attack ground is broken. Like, LGBs are omega busted because they have very short reload time. Well, I mean, all the LGBs beside the F-15E. I don't think the F-15, the Strike Eagle has a very low rearm time, though I'm not sure. But this is mostly for like the F-16 and the French one. But then if you want to attack ground with them, they don't work. So it's just weird. But I mean, yeah, that's just Eugene things, and nothing will be fixed because we don't do balance patches. We only do updates once a decade. Saw some movements in here, and I was starting with an advance because I wanted to take the buildings to then have possibility of contesting this sector on the left-hand flank. Because now I saw that quite a few reinforcements went into the town, and I tried to kill the MiG-23, but he retreated, so I also retreated my fighters. So I don't feel that good about attacking in here now. So I wanted to see how far I can get with my infantry here. Bradley unfortunately gets sniped by the Aufklärer with their AT launcher. So I move up my infantry. It was also not that well done that I was moving up new infantry while my infantry here was so far back. Should have done that better. You can also see deployed dragons here defensively because I was afraid of the conquerors in the town. I also didn't want to attack into the lumber mill again because attacking the lumber mill is always painful. So it's honestly a pretty decent idea to go heavily into the lumber mill early on because it can go well. But I mean, to be fair, if I would have just put an ITO here, it would have went far worse. So that was also a skill issue by me. And because of that, I'm now constantly, or he's constantly on a +2. You might have also seen the Grad strike onto the town here. Now the rest of the Grad try to bombard my infantry here, but yeah, that's the problem with canceling your barrages early on. If you then do another barrage, it's not like the barrage has been reset, it will just finish the barrage before. And so this strike here could have been devastating as well, just like the strike onto this little village here. But it wasn't because he only fired, like, what was it, 10 rockets maybe? So, yeah. That's why I prefer to just let my barrages finish, even if the enemy moves their infantry out. Try to get my my fire team dragon closer to the action. But I mean, the conquerors are just firing on my Bradleys, and infantry here actually finally spot the conquerors. But yeah, well, the Bradley will not be able to do anything against the conquerors. But my artillery that I have brought in can be able, or is able to do something against that. So I instantly put it on the conquerors. Good target for it. 2 National Guard fire teams against the Sicherung. Pretty bad fight for me. And also Bradley gets stuck on the building, by the way, because apparently driving like this is not the American way. You drive into the building and then you do a 90-degree turn and then you drive behind the building, but you don't because you die on the way there. Freedom. Yeah, that's a pretty bad fight because my National Guard are reservist and the enemy Sicherung are somehow not reservist because reasons. Because autocratic regimes always get weird buffs in strategy games because they believe they're full of propaganda, even though it's just factually untrue, and people that are free mostly fight way better than people that are full of propaganda. But well, it is what it is. It is a game after all, right? And it is kind of fair because it's not like 7th is busted, right? On a one-to-one basis, comparing like also West German Sicherungs to East German Sicherungs, it's kind of weird why West German Sicherungs is complete ass, while East German Sicherung is absolutely based. But yeah, it do be like that sometimes. Dragon 2 missed the beautiful side shot on a T-55, because why wouldn't it? See some infantry here, but I did the horrible mistake of putting my artillery in the forest here, and the problem is you can get stuck on a lining, and your howitzer will not do anything. He will not drive, forward a few meters or back a few meters. He will just be standing there doing nothing. So only one howitzer is aligning. My push here has pretty much failed. Let's see if the Dragon 2 can actually get something. This Dragon 2 also engaging the Conquerors and missing, because why wouldn't it? This Dragon 2 missing the T-55, because why wouldn't it? Everything just missing. I know everybody loves to cope about RNG in like every game that has RNG, because that's just natural, but like those 2 Dragon squads were not stressed out at all. It's also not even max range, and they still miss. Let's see if it maybe hits this shot here. And it does, so that's at least something. And I was able to move forward into the buildings here, so I decided to just move my tank into the forest line and risk it. And now, by the way, because my howitzer here was stuck on the lining, he didn't move. Now the Grad is coming in. The artillery is doing the dumb thing that a lot of units in WARNO do. If you give them a move order and they're facing the other direction, they first start to reverse, and then they decide to, no, I will now do a turn and drive forward again and waste like half a fucking decade standing in the spot. Luckily it survives, but bruh, that was a close call. Brought in an ITO, because if I put it in this forest line, this is a very powerful position actually. I put it into the building here first, but I will move it over to here later. And yeah, one big disadvantage of fighting on this side is that the reinforcement roads are also giga dumb. And if you call in stuff here, they drive through the lumber mill. So I will have to manually reroute all my reinforcements or call them in back here. This is just unbelievably stupid and annoying. So you can see already the supply. I was lucky that I realized that the supply truck was going through enemy territory. I was able to fully capture the sector on the left-hand flank, by the way. So this is also very good. You can see he brought in a Stinger and 2 Chaparrals in the back as well for some AA support. The Bradley here for this ATGM. Infantry to cover the flank. Spot the Conquerors, so put my artillery on it. Luckily it survived, so I can actually do it. Then also put a new barrage already on the church, because I was fairly sure that he would have recon in the church. I mean, because it's just standard to do that. You can see the push here is also pretty much stopped because I don't have enough long-range support anymore because of all of his conquers. And now I'm waiting to get more forces in place. Because even though he's ticking, and like we all know that ticking on Black Forest is very, very powerful because the zones aren't worth that much. I took fairly heavy losses already, so I was really careful not to lose even more. Now, because the T-55 was not able to be killed off with 6 Dragon 2s, it can just fire support down my infantry. So that sucks. 60% accuracy, by the way, misses again on the SPW. Fun times. But he retreats his SPW, so I can full cap the zone once again. He counter batteries, which I mean is fair enough because I didn't move my artillery initially for aligning reasons, but I mean now I'm moving it again. And by the way, just so you can once again understand how dumb recon is, well, now there's smoke there, but here's a recon squad right here. I have a sniper here, and I can't see him. Why, Eugen? Just what's the point of recon if I can't see anything? I understand that you shouldn't be able to see everything. That would be stupid. But like, it's a like specialist squad for seeing things, and I can't see stuff at the range that he could shoot at with the sniper rifle. Why? This is just so dumb and painful. This is a major factor of why the meta at the moment just feels so bad and unfun to play. Because you can't see anything, so yeah, the attack just consists of blobbing up everything and thus, you know, kind of countering the disadvantage of not seeing anything. You just have so much stuff that your enemy can't kill everything. Puts his Grud on a Chaparral. That's a decent target. Like, wasting a whole Grud for one Chaparral is not the best. I mean, I said that you shouldn't like do partial barrages, or at least not without actually, you know, thinking about it. You know, if he does a partial barrage here and here, that's fine.
Damn, that was close.
But maybe, you know, the Chaparral would have been a better target for his howitzer. And yeah, unfortunately, he targeted the National Guard Ito Jeep with his howitzer, which is also a good idea. But I targeted his coup because I was able to see it, and well, I mean, I want to kill it off as quickly as I can to maybe have a chance to use the second Strike Eagle at some point. I have Seed in the deck, but you can obviously always turn off the coup. So killing them off directly is always better. Trying to re-engage with the National Guard and the fire team here again. And yeah, I know that I'm, you know, coping about the state of recon basically every game now, but you have to understand that this is an issue every game you play. And it is such a fundamental thing to, you know, see something or not see something in a strategy game that it is getting very, very, very annoying. And I'm by far not the only one. Like, most of the high-level players agree and struggle with it. So I really hope that this gets reworked sometime soon, though, considering we haven't heard anything from Strike Team, not even hinting at it, really makes me worried, but I guess it is what it is. I can see I brought in another command, M1IP, to try to move them in here, because I was hoping that he would have the bulk of his forces in on this side of the town, because that's where I was constantly attacking. But he still has a concourse somewhere in those buildings here, and I wasn't really feeling attacking it without more long-range support or being able to move my infantry in there. Counter battery a mortar of his, because he was smoke scumming the sector, and I really didn't want that to happen. MiG-21 HE coming in, that was a very juicy target for him, obviously. Chaparral misses, because why wouldn't it? But the National Guard Stingers hits, so that was something. Spot his concourse, so quickly kill it off with all of my tanks, or like all of my 2 of my tanks and the infantry. So now I'm moving in. More infantry was luckily already on the way. So I get a new foothold here, but I was not able to like advance my foothold, I guess. I was just constantly struggling. I was moving in and then I was being pushed out again. I was moving in then I was being pushed out again. Now he does a very, very good Grad strike on my infantry that was moving into this corner, so they're dead again. And now I don't really have a lot of cover for my M1 IPs, though the Pioneer here is really not an issue for me because it doesn't have any AT. Try to get the M1 IP into a better position, more towards my infantry where it actually has some cover. But because now he has recaptured this sector, I'm in big trouble. Su-22 snipes off the M1 IAP command. That was very bad. And now he will be at a +2 again. And you can see there's a massive push coming here with a lot of tanks. Bradley here has already died. Luckily there were already 2 more Bradleys with Fire Team Dragons coming in. So that's pretty much perfect counter to all his tanks and IFVs. I was also able to save my M1 IP command, so at least this command tank is still alive. Mi-24 killing off my stuff because the Chaparral is not able to hit. Finally it hits. Let's see if it can hit its final rocket. Of course it can't. 4 rockets fired, 1 hit, 55% accuracy, by the way. Yes, this is so fucking cool. Down on the left-hand flank it's going actually pretty well. Killed off 3 T-72Ms. His infantry is now moving in and just dying to my Bradleys. And the sniper. Snipe off the command T-72M. Even better kill, though now the artillery strike here is pretty useless, but I mean, I would take it any day of the week if I get to kill off his T-72M command in return. Dragons are now in the buildings here in position. Well, I mean, first Dragon 2 of course has to miss, but the second one hits. So that's fair enough. Moved up the Apache just in case he would try to move in further and my line would break, but it didn't. And now he has a Strela 10M and a Shilka in the back, so that's also not that good for the Apache. Concourse in the building here gets spotted actually, so my M1 IP can engage, but like the town push has completely failed. With his aircraft coming in and killing the command M1 IP, that was really painful. I didn't have any infantry command in the deck at this point, because I was like experimenting around with only having the tank CVs. Yeah, let's say the experiment has ended. Wasn't successful. Or well, I mean, you don't know how this game will end. So let's see how this game will go, but I can tell you overall it wasn't successful. And yeah, you can see again the problem of calling in the command jeep, and now it again decided to drive through his whole line. This is just such a pain in the ass. You always have to reroute everything you ever buy, because if you just click on the town, it will drive through here. I hate this so much, because it's just extra micro that I have to do because I am on the wrong side of the map. It's just not good map design. Period. That's it. Put an artillery strike on the pioneers there, so that I can, if I do a new infantry advance, I have a clear route. Recaptured this Foxtrot sector again. Is it Foxtrot? Yes, it is Foxtrot. Obviously because I killed off his command tank, but he's artillerying my Dragon teams now. You can see I brought in 2 more tanks now as well. So I have a pretty good armor advantage on the left side. Well, I mean, there's nothing on his side that I can see at least, but as we know, that doesn't mean that there's nothing there. Also an I2 on this tree line here. The Fighting Dragon is still there. So I'm in an okay position on the left-hand side of the map, but I really don't like my position in the center. And I need to like advance somewhere. You can see I'm probing a bit in the lumber mill. Fire Team 84 getting killed off because they were taking the wrong road again. Yeah, he has ATGMs in the tower, one ATGM in the tower there at least, so didn't go too well. Also, the rerouting, by the way, takes extra time of my advance and gives him more time to reinforce his town. And the disadvantage of only having 6-man squads is really paining me in this matchup, because he has all his 7-8-man squads and my standard squads are 6-men. Try to move in the command jeep now, because the military police doesn't spot anything, but I always forget that this building here is absolutely useless if you want to attack the town, because you can't see anything. You need to move up into this small building there. T-72 snipes off the chaparral, well done by him. Some planes circling around, but not doing anything. I quickly retreated the jeep again, because I saw some infantry in here. And it was a good shot, because the MiG-21 BIS instantly coming in. National Guard Swinger here way too far back, should have moved it up a lot earlier. Put a Strike Eagle on the T-72. And I'm pretty sure that this will one-hit him. But apparently I was wrong, and Strike Eagle does not one-hit T-72M. This was maybe because one bomb was slightly off because it was hit by the coup. Because of course my Strike Eagle gets hit by the coup, right? I mean, it's not like the coup only has... It's updated so it has 50% accuracy and I have 40% ECM. No, of course I will get hit on the first run. On the first hit. Why wouldn't I? The tanks here can't really be used because like this one is giga low and this one is half HP, so wasn't really keen on using them. Tried to retreat the command jeep in time. Retreating vehicles being killed off, though no, I think this was this was a Bradley that still was on a attack order from before. And you can see I'm now rerouting my tanks because like the attack area from his side has completely ceased. There's actually nothing happening, and there's a lot happening here. So I thought you know, there's not much point having those tanks sitting around there. There's like 480 points. That's not good. Reroute them and help them here, because then I will have 4 tanks plus Bradleys plus infantry, so that should be good enough to at least get something going. Here the engineer dragons push in, but there are 2 pioneers, so this is a very bad engagement for them. And the Bradley can't support because it's busy engaging this pioneer, which can't be engaged by this military police because it doesn't see it. Because buildings are just so annoying with their sightlines. It can see the building, but it actually can't see the squad inside the building because the squad is like somewhere further back in the houses. It's just annoying. Moving the jeep again though, because I've killed off the squad that I saw in here. So I thought that it would be safe enough. And there's like only 10 minutes left, and I'm 1,000 points behind on Black Forest. So I'm really starting to sweat my balls off. Engage the pioneers now finally with the Bradley. Engage the Sicherungs with the other Bradley. Retreat the command jeep because the Sicherungs have AT launchers. He gets in the building here, I think now, and actually gets sight on the M151. He's stressed out, but he doesn't care. I mean, he has 45% X, right? Why wouldn't he hit the jeep? And kills off my command. Bruh. BMP-1 also, by the way, killed off my my Bradley. It was a National Guard Bradley, so you know, that's fine. Even though it's still, I think, a 50% accuracy ATGM against a 60% accuracy ATGM. Though happens to the best of us. New M1IP command tank coming in to contest the zone because, as I said, I'm really running out of time. And I was assuming that he doesn't have a lot of defenses here, simply because mostly people don't have that. They focus their defenses around here and in the town, but they don't protect this area here that much. So I just Q-moved my tanks, because I'm also just, as I said, I'm running out of time. I need to do something. AT Su-22 again, shooting and hitting. So I smoke off the M1, move in the supply to resupply the smoke, maybe also repair a little bit. You can see I'm really running out of infantry because I need to reroute everything. Luckily the Su-22 doesn't see the command tank anymore. Snipes off the Bradley though, that was a bit painful. But yeah, well, expected, didn't smoke it off right. My artillery has also been a bit silent because I also misclicked something, and you can see the National Guard fire team here moved up there. I think I misclicked and I wanted to use a supply to go there, but yeah, then I sent the National Guard team there. Also moved in a recon squad in the back here after he captured the lumber mill and never unloaded it. And you can see my tanks are just pushing through, killing a bunch of stuff. Another command T-72, but it will now be engaged by all the M1s from the side. And because he has less range, he doesn't shoot back and also doesn't notice it. I tried to engage from the front, but you can see this is where he has all his stuff. So this all died. But the flanking move is still going on. Like, I still have all 4 of my tanks alive. Chaparral also moved up a bit with the National Guard Stinger, missing all their shots as they usually do. No, the National Guard Stinger actually hits. Chaparral misses though. Like, it's insane how the 45% Stinger is more reliable in this game than the Chaparral. Also, my tank here is still alive somehow. Finally kill off the Mi-24. My M1 IPs doing good work on the enemy T-72. Get in the M1 IP in the zone, smoke it off. Ito engaging the T-72 command, maybe it will get the hit, it does. So command tank is killed. More T-72s being spotted, Su-22 coming in from the side, missing both his rockets. That was really unlucky by him, honestly. Like, you would expect one of those missiles to hit at least. Also push up the Apache, even though I know it's very risky because he most likely still has AA here, but I mean, fuck it. There's 8 minutes left and I'm 1,000 points behind. I'm actually exactly 1,000 points behind low. And the command here has died once again. So I am really steering to get some advantage somewhere. Still no M1 has died. Now he's coming in with the HE bombs, but I mean, they will stress out the M1 IP quite a bit, but not kill it. Chaparral missing once again. Like, I was really beginning to question my sanity at this point. Like, everything is missing. I think the Chaparral has hit like 1 rocket over the whole game. Or missile, it's not a rocket, it's a missile. Yeah, and he actually takes 2 crowds of the MiG-23s, as we can see. That's fair enough. And yeah, also killing of the Weasel with 3 fighters is also, you know, that's expected. Chaparral finally hits 1 missile after my White Weasel has already been killed. Engage the Apache. Let's see if 2 MiG-23s can kill it off. They can't. But he still has a Motschützen BTR in my backline here. And so he kills off my reinforcements. That was very painful. Brought in all my fighters because I might as well. It's only 7 minutes left. Kill off, I think, one of his MiG-23s. Bradley moving in, but gets killed off by something else again. And all my M1s are also still alive. It's just that one has been routed. You can see I'm still trying to just get some advantage in here, but they just have so much infantry in. It's all bigger squads than I have, except for the engineers. But then if I bring in engineers, he just brings in a bunch of SPWs. Military police get sniped. That was not that well done, but I was microing here. I wasn't paying attention. I could have put my fighter on this Mi-24 that has like 1 HP. So that was also not that well done by me. I have killed off, I think, all his artillery at this point. Ito snipes command T-72, a very important kill. Fighters still circling, not doing anything. M1 IP's finally kill off the BMP that was just harassing me from this forest line here. Chaparral is out of ammo, actually. I finally remember that I have artillery. It's also been rearmed, so I can actually use it. Get it on top of his infantry so that I can maybe get myself into the town again, if I'm lucky. His helicopters are still firing on my tanks. Now I finally remember that, you know, you can use planes against helicopters. Revolutionary idea, I know. 5 minutes left. I really wasn't believing that I would be able to get something. Because, like, as I said, I'm 1,000 points behind on Black Forest. No way I'm gonna get anything. Coup actually misses. It misses against the fighters. But of course it wouldn't miss against the Strike Eagle, right? Engineers get into a decent position, but I mean, I don't have any command left. I reroute the command from the artillery because I just need to get I need to get points as quickly as possible. But capturing the back zone here is very good for me because it's worth 2 points, so I'm at a +4 now. And I wasn't sure whether this would be enough to maybe get a draw. I was fairly sure that it wouldn't be enough to get a win, but maybe a draw. But obviously I still want to win. So you can see I'm rerouting a bunch of tanks and the Bradley into the zone here. I brought in a lot of 50 cals as well that I'm just moving across the open, trying to get some more stuff into the town, especially a command, CDT-55, and I just quickly finish it off with the LGB because I just need to get rid of it, and the Ito is out of ammo. Coop here, by the way, surviving the tanks, because why wouldn't it? MiG-21 comes in and routes the M1 IP. That was very painful. And yeah, you can see the problem with my big infantry squads is they can't do anything against all this SPWs, and he has a lot of them. Apache missing the Strela once, Apache missing the Strela twice. 70% accuracy, by the way, misses twice. Like, this game was just absurd. 70% and it misses twice. Strela stuns it down, and I mean, because it's reservist, it now won't hit anything. I start retreating it, or like rather repositioning, because again I was thinking that because I was attacking through this lane over and over again, I assumed that he would have most of his stuff there. So I just rerouted my command to go into this forest line. You can see more military police coming in. Apache just staying in for fire support because I don't have the luxury of retreating it. T-72 coming in, but yeah, my more range is just killing him. But now he has even more tanks. So I will most likely lose a tank, but that's fine because I just need to win some time. You can see I now also have brought in the Cobras because I remember that I actually have them. Which together with an Apache take like half an hour to kill off one BTR. Coop there is still alive, being buffed up to max veterancy by the command. Kills off the Apache, like that's fair enough because it was so close because of range scaling. Supply getting in to repair my tanks here because I really don't want to lose a position. That's very important to me. And the command gets into the town, so I'm at a +5. So not everything is lost. Just a tag round where I last saw the Coop. He moved the dough, so yeah, no dice. M1 IP is stunned down to crap, but still kills off a T-72M, so this is a US hero now, but finally dies. So sad. He still has a command in the town though. So I just rush forward my Cobra, sorry, and I spot the command. So I obviously start attacking it, or tag grounding, doesn't work. I specifically tell them to attack, look where the Cobra is, it's right on top of the SPW, doesn't hit a single time. Like, what am I watching? Also the LGB just misses the G72 by a mile again. And now this Cobra is obviously completely stunned down, and I mean, that it doesn't hit the SPW now is fair enough, but I was losing my mind. I have two Cobras right on top of his command and they can't hit a single shot. But at least I routed it, so he has to retreat it, but now he gets in the command T-72 on the left-hand side, so I'm only at a +4 again. I move out my Abrams, get one hit in, but he smokes off, which is a good thing to do for him. My infantry was pushed out because my infantry is hot garbage. He, for whatever reason, moves to the side, into the sideline of my command M1, and I managed to kill him off. Now it's very important for my command to not die. He mismicros completely and targets my normal Abrams with his AT plane. His command here is still routed, though my Bradley dies. Pretty sure to a BMP-1. Like, bruh. You see, I just Q-move my infantry to just keep him out of the zone because I need the +6 tick. Because I might at least get a draw. I'm not sure, but maybe, you know, just maybe. And that would be already something. I also completely forgot about the sniper in the back there, by the way. He gets in his command back into the sector, so it's only a +5. But it will at least be enough for the draw. So, hey. It's like not a happy end, but it is at least an end to this absurd story of nothing ever hitting anything. And the game was finally over. like, I'm telling you, this game was just tilting beyond belief. And look at this KD, 1.5 to 1. But if my stuff just never hits anything, what am I supposed to do? It was just insane. I mean, obviously, I'm supposed to play better, and there were objective mistakes I did in this game, of course. But there were also just so many cases of my stuff just not hitting its shit. And my, strike eagle being instantly shot out of the sky by a shitty coup. Phantom here did okay though. This Ito, this military police really held its own. Just look how many kills he got. He also upvetted, I'm pretty sure. So really, really heroic unit. Strike Eagle getting one more Schützen, just catastrophic. But what am I supposed to do? 40% ECM against the coup with 50% accuracy and gets hit on its first run. This Eagle here also doing a lot of work, killing off 2 fighters, AT plane, and 2 helicopters. Other Eagle doing also decently. Artillery doing a good job. 3 Conquerors, coup, and mortar. The other howitzer? No, the other howitzer didn't appear yet in the kill list. Seed only getting a Shoka, bruh. Ito here getting the command tank was so important. That was one of the most important kills of the whole game. This is one of the IPs that push through. You can see killing off an Akatse and RM70, and well, all the other stuff here as well. One of the other Abrams that pushed through. Just look at the kill list. Oh my god, just insane. This is, I think, also one of the Bradleys that pushed through with the M1s. Command M1 that pushed through on the left-hand flank, killing 3 T-72s. Very, very good value. Bradley killing off a T-72, M1, T-72M, and T-72 command tank. So this Bradley, insane kill list. Fireteam Dragon getting a few kills. Another Ito killing and T-72 command tank. That was the one that was driving towards the city in the center. Another Weasel again only getting a Shilka. I'm almost thinking about, just taking the Shilka as like seed sponges. Because my seed was only targeting the Shilkas and never the coups, I think. Another M1 IP that was pushing through the lines, getting a bunch of kills. The fourth one getting 2 mortars and 2 T-72s. So you can see, once his left-hand flank collapsed, I just completely wiped the floor with him. Apache here also getting a few kills at least. 1 T-72, that's okay. This M1 here, T-72 killed the helicopter actually. Don't know whether this was landed or it just killed it off with its 50 cal. Straught and M. The other howitzer, so yeah, most kills were done by the one howitzer, and then the other strike eagle also just completely shitting the bed and only killing 1 T-55. Like, just imagine, I got a 1.5 to 1 KD with both strike eagles not doing anything this game. And yeah, but because he was just throwing stuff into the town, and it was a combination of miss micro in the town, dumb map design where I have to reroute all my stuff manually and then get it into the town, having the smaller squads with reservist traits, or the bigger squads that then don't have any AT launchers. So, and I mean, I also have normal AT launcher squads, but then they then are fairly expensive, so I can't spam them as much. That's a bit of the issue in this case. Cobra killing the coup and the Strela, but then not being able to hit the command a single time. It wouldn't have changed anything eventually because I routed him, and I'm pretty sure it would have been a draw either way. Or I'm actually 100% sure there would have been a draw either way. But it was, that was just insult to injury. You can see his 1 T-72 just surviving to the end, killing off both Cobras, by the way, with its KPVT. Bruh. RM70 doing decently, but I mean, then obviously I just completely pushed through and killed it off. So that was it. This Akacia only getting 1 Ito Jeep. Is MiG-21 bombers didn't get a lot of kills, but they were pretty annoying, especially then towards the end. Stunning down my M1IPs and routing them was very, very important for him to, not completely collapse over the whole map and keep the town or the city in his hand for at least a little bit longer. SU-22 bullying me and killing off the command Abrams. Conker's killing off the Jeep command. This mod Schützen BTR, I think that was the one on the left-hand flank that was just sitting in the forest line for like the whole game, and then he randomly decided to move it once the game was already over. I mean, it paid off for him, right? He killed off 2 National Guard squads. Yeah, SPW killing an Apache. Yikes. And yeah, that's it. That was the game. So, honestly, pretty tilting game overall. Well done by my enemy to push the lumber mill early on. I don't know why this I don't know whether this is a new meta, but I've seen this quite a few times now, that people push their lumber mill early on. I guess I will have to adjust my openers now. And yeah, well, you can decide for yourself whether RNGesus was against me this game or not. I hope you liked it either way. And more games to come. I hope to see you then. Have a great day, evening or morning, whatever it is, where you're at, and see you next time. Bye bye.